3rd District of Camarines Sur, Congressman Nelson Legacion, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Esteemed colleagues, good afternoon. Maray na pagkahapon po sa Tuya Gabos. I rise today to sound the alarm of what is not just a regional issue, but a national economic crisis. We must remember that infrastructure is the undisputed backbone of our economy. And the current state of Bicol's roads threatens to shatter it. I am here to elevate the discussion on this worsening road network from a mere travel complaint to a critical economic and social crisis demanding immediate national attention, since the road to Bicol development is no longer just a regional concern, but also a national one. Please allow me to play a short video of the state of the road going to Bicol to put things in proper perspective. The operator, kindly play the video.
Kalbaryo naman ang bumper-to-bumper na traffic sa Andaya Highway sa Lupi o Lupi, Camarines Sur. Bunsod po yan ng mga sirasirang daan, road reblocking at pagguho ng lupa. Isang lane lang ang nadaraanan sa ilang lugar. At ang dating isang oras na biyahe, umaabot na ng 5 oras at posible pang tumindi ngayong magpapasko. Tulungan na ang iba't ibang ahensya mamando ng trapiko at sinimulan na rin ayusin ng DPWH ang gumuhong kalsada. Humingi ng pangunawa ang DPWH Region 5 para sa abala at tiniyak na tinutugunan nila ang problema.
For too long, the Bicol region has been known for several things, including the majestic Mayon volcano, the spice of Bicol Express, and the devotion to Ina Can Bicolandia, Our Lady of Peña Francia. Yet, its most vital strategic role, serving as the connective linkage between Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, remains tragically underdeveloped. Bicol is not just a destination. It is a geopolitical anchor for Visayas and Mindanao. The Bicol region is composed of 6 provinces, 4 on the Bicol Peninsula, namely Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay, and Sorsogon, and the 2 magnificent island provinces of Catanduanes and Masbate. Provinces like Sorsogon, through Matnog and Pilar, are the critical entry and exit points for the RoRo system, physically connecting our largest island to the south. Para maabot ang ating buong potential bilang pambansang tarangkahan, our infrastructure must match this strategic position. Kaso, ang bawat biyahe na papunta sa Bicolandia ay kailangang dumaan sa lubak-lubak at substandard na mga daan mula Quezon hanggang Camarines Sur. This is where the failure is most keenly felt, since the Philippine National Railway Service is currently limited only to commuter trips within Bicol and is not yet operational for the full long-haul trip from Tutuban and in Metro Manila. Travel by train remains limited. The vast majority of our citizens are forced onto buses for long periods of time, making land travel the only accessible option for many. The highway from NCR to Sorsogon, which should take 10 to 12 hours, routinely stretches to 15, 18, o higit pa sa 20 oras, lalo na kapag nalalapit na ang Kapaskuhan, pati na ang mga piyesta sa mga probinsya. This consumes more than half a day of a Filipino's life, enduring road hazards, directly impeding our nation's progress. Ang ugat at punot-dulo ng problemang ito ay ang extensive deterioration ng ating national highway system. For instance, the 92-kilometer Andaya Highway is a critical stretch in the said highway system, is annually plagued by damaged segments, a situation captured by the local lament, walang ginawang araw ang Diyos na walang sira ang Andaya Highway. Some would even refer to it, lubak na may counting highway. Moreover, structural failures, lack of proper lighting, and lanes illegally occupied by stalled trucks further compound the traffic, create blind spots, and cause serious accidents, dramatically extending our people's suffering despite it being repaired every year. Yet the quality remains poor and substandard. Another example is the state of roads in the Quezon province. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin maiwasan ang lala ng mga lubak at iba pang road hazards, dala ng hindi di kalidad na mga daanan mula Pagbilao hanggang Calawag sa Quezon. Ang problemang ito ay humahadlang sa supply at pagbiyahe sa buong Quezon at pati na rin sa lahat ng lalawigan ng Bicol tulad ng Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay at Sorsogon. Dahil dito, lubhang naapektuhan din ang koneksyon ng Luzon sa Visayas, lalo na ng sa Leyte at maging sa Mindanao, tulad ng sa Surigao del Norte at Sur at iba pang probinsya. Mr. Speaker, our current reality presents a clear paradox. Land travel to the Bicol region has become a test of endurance. Ang ganitong kalagayan ng kalsada ay isang direktang balakid sa ating pambansang mithiin na pag-unlad dahil sa mga sumusunod. Una na rito, ang pagtaas ng presyo ng bilihin dahil sa mga delayed and damaged roads na direktang nakakaapekto sa mahal at mataas na transportation and logistical costs, which are ultimately passed on to the consumer. This fuels regional inflation, burdens the poorest families, and makes Bicolano agricultural and trade goods less competitive across the archipelago. Pangalawa, ang pagkalugi sa turismo. When tourists are warned that a 9-hour trip can balloon into an 18-hour ordeal, they simply choose other destinations. Bicol's world-class attractions, from the secluded beaches of Masbate to the surfing capital of Camarines Sur, remain sealed behind a literal wall of poorly maintained road. Ang lohistikal na kabiguan na ito ay direktang nagpapahina sa ating industriya ng turismo. Pangatlo, ang pagkawalay sa pamilya. During long weekends, students and workers in the NCR who yearn to visit home instead choose to stay in Manila rather than suffer the crushing, exhausting travel day. Imbes na umuwi sila sa kanilang mga tahanan sa Bicol, ay minamabuti na lamang nilang manatili dito sa Maynila para maiwasan ang halos kalahati o buong araw na biyahe papunta pa lamang sa Bicolandia. Hindi na sila mapapagod, makukonsumi sa biyahe, makakatipid pa sila. Ito ay dahil sa mga sirang kalsada sa daanang pauwi na nagbubunga ng pagkakalayo hindi lamang pisikal, kundi na rin emosyonal ng ating mga kababayan sa kanilang mga tahanan, restricting the spontaneous movement and family bonding, a feature so central to Filipino culture. Panghuli, ang kawalang katiyakan sa kaligtasan. The combination of potholes, unlit construction zones, and illegally parked vehicles creates treacherous driving conditions leading to property damage, injury, and tragically, the undeniable loss of lives. Dapat hindi natin matatanggap ang ganitong kawalan ng aksyon. Just imagine the economic losses caused by the sorry state of roads to Bicol. This problem cannot be addressed in isolation. A single, poorly maintained segment in any province from Quezon to Sorsogon holds the entire national flow hostage. This was apparent in December last year when road slips in Camarines Sur and Camarines Norte, as well as aging and deteriorating bridges, caused 22-hour delays for commuters, restricted travel, and grinding it to a halt, resulting in the President himself declaring a state of emergency and taking weeks to fix them. Tackling this critical regional infrastructure crisis requires genuine partnership. I am reaching out to my colleagues, the 18-strong Bicolano representatives who constitutes the Special Committee on Bicol Affairs and Economic Development. Ipinapanukala ko na itaguyod natin ang layuning ito ng buong pagkaapurahan. By joining forces, we can effectively leverage our collective voice and combined authority to deliver the decisive action the Bicol region and every Bicolano and Bicolana truly deserve. Moreover, I call upon the leaders across this vital chain of provinces to forge an unprecedented level of cooperation and coordination to ensure smooth and fast passage for all our people. I call upon the respective national government agencies to take the following decisive actions. The Department of Economy Planning and Development, formerly NEDA, to prioritize, expedite, and approve the necessary funding for airport rehabilitation and road network improvements. Hindi tayo maaring maghintay pa for the materialization of the Quezon-Bicol Toll Expressway. This problem demands immediate action. The Department of Transportation to collaborate with the DPWH to strictly enforce rules against illegal parking on national highways and expedite the full rehabilitation of the PNR South Long Haul project. The Department of Public Works and Highways to order and to be held accountable for delivering fast, durable, and safe infrastructure that meets international standards, specifically focusing on mandatory lighting installation and engineering solutions along all critical national highways. The Department of Tourism to join this infrastructure effort recognizing that smooth, accessible, and highly quality infrastructure is the non-negotiable foundation of all successful tourism promotion, and the Department of the Interior and Local Government to ensure strict local government compliance with national laws and regulations concerning public safety, particularly regarding the maintenance and regulation of access to national highways. We must make the cost-efficient land route as time-efficient and safe as possible by prioritizing this essential infrastructure investment. We will not only mitigate the physical, emotional, and financial toll currently endured by our citizens, but will also further unleash the potential of our local economies. We will transform Bicol into a dynamic, accessible, and prosperous gateway to the South, a powerful driver of national economic growth. And our government agencies to stand with me, let us translate these comprehensive action plans into immediate, decisive execution. Kailangan nating wakasan ng sama-sama ang pagdurusa sa ating mga daan. This, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the road to Bicol development, for this is not only regional development, but also a national development. Maraming salamat po. Diyos mabalas.